Here is my recap for Dexter Season 2, Episode 10, entitled There's Something About Harry. Dexter has massive daddy issues in this episode, and a big revelation about his dad. We also have a lot to do with Dokes and a little bit to do with Deborah, and also Lila. There's definitely some stuff going down with Lila. So here's my recap on Episode 10. All right, so in this episode, we have a lot that revolves around Dexter. Now, he's trying to get out of this situation with Dokes and trying to keep himself from being, nailed as the Bay Harbor Butcher. And so he concocts this scheme to get the guy who's running this drug operation, who's killed several people and has to do with that lodge that he's keeping Dokes in. And he ends up capturing the guy, and he's going to blame this on Dokes. Now, while he's doing this, prior to capturing the guy and bringing him to where Dokes is, Dokes mentions something to Dexter that makes him wonder about his past. He said, "You don't know everything about your father. There's a secret that you don't know. And if you let me out, we can go outside and we can talk about it," which doesn't work with Dexter. So Dexter actually takes that information and goes to the captain, the one who's in charge of the Metro Police Department there. He was really good friends with his dad. There's a flashback where Dexter remembers a situation where the captain came over to their house at one point when him and Deborah were younger and lets his father, Harry, know that this one person is getting off from basically a technicality. And that really upsets Dexter's father because his father knows that this person is a killer and he's going to go out and kill more people. Well, Dexter takes it upon himself to get that guy and kill him for his dad. Now, we find out Dexter, when he finds this stuff out, he goes to the captain after he talks with Dokes, and the captain tells him, what you don't realize is that your dad wanted you guys protected and that your dad didn't die of natural causes. He actually committed suicide. He took more of his heart medicine than he was supposed to, knowing that he was going to die. Well, at the very end of the episode, Dexter is killing this individual to blame it on Dokes. And Dokes is there, and when Dexter is done, he's cleaning up. He pulls the plastic down. He didn't want Dokes to see, and says, Dokes tells him, "Don't, just get away. Don't come near me." And he has a flashback of his father telling him the same thing. During that kill, he found the guy that had murdered all those girls when he was younger and killed that person. And his dad walked in on the kill scene and got physically ill and said, don't go near me, stay away. And it was only 3 days later or 2 days later where his father actually had committed suicide. And Dexter now believes that that's his fault. So this episode is about Dexter trying to find out about his past. We're learning more about his history as well, and what he's trying to do to frame Dokes for all of this. Now, at the same time, LaGuerta is trying to clear Dokes' name. She actually has a folder, notebook from a stakeout that she was on with Dokes over a 2-week time period where they were on this stakeout in this apartment. She had meticulous notes saying he could have never done this. So she takes this information and this notebook to Lundy and saying, here, this proves that he couldn't have committed the crimes that you said he committed. He couldn't even have been there. He looks at this, says, I can't use this. Because in an earlier episode, she had a conversation with Dokes telling Dokes to come back, don't do what he's doing. She had a conversation with him when he was on the run. And Dokes said, no, I'm going to prove who this is. I just need a little more time. Well, she never told Lundy. And that takes all her credibility away from her. So he said this would never be admissible in court because of that phone call. And you got to find me something else if you want to save him. Lundy is also talking about, leaving when he's done. And that upsets Deborah. And they have a conversation about that as well. And so we've got several different storylines going on in this episode. Nothing amazing, not like the previous couple of episodes. And the last storyline is Lila is trying to get close to, Mrs. Dexter, and has been hanging out a lot with Batista. And Batista has been really wanting to have sex with her. But she's been kind of pushing him off a little bit, still spending a lot of time with him. Well, in this episode, Dexter and Batista go to the beach and hang out with Rita and the kids, and also, his Batista's kids. And so they spend the time at the beach, and Lila wanted to go, but Batista said that's not a good idea because of your history with Dexter. So Batista goes to her apartment, is helping her paint the wall. This is the day of the beach or afterwards. And he's really exhausted. And she says, how did everything go at the beach? He says, it was good. Looks like Rita and Dexter are going to stay together. And this really upsets Rita. And they end up having some sex. And finally they do. She kind of says, I've been waiting too long to do this. And right afterwards, she goes into the bathroom and overdoses on pills and collapses. And that's when Batista finds her passed out. And so he has to call 911. So that's where we leave this episode. Not a whole lot's going on. We've got 2 more episodes left till we close the season out. What's going to happen with Dokes? What's going to happen with Dexter? Is Dexter going to get away scot-free, or is he going to get charged? Is Dokes going to actually survive this as well? There's a lot going on in these last couple of episodes. So we're going to see what happens leading up to the finale. So 2 episodes left. We're going to see what happens. I appreciate everybody who's been with me on this ride so far. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and then hit the notification bell, and you will be notified when new videos go up. Again, I'm going to be doing all these videos up until the release of the new season coming to Showtime next year in 2021.